God, can it just be easy already? Is anyone else having this feeling? Like, I'm just so ready for Electric Zoo. I literally cannot wait. But you guys, thanks for checking out this video. Today I am going to be talking all about the things that you can do around the New York City area if you're going to be attending Electric Zoo this year. So on my last video that I just did, it was a travel guide and I covered all things hotels, Airbnb, and transportation related in that video. So I will link that down below and I'll put a card up in here if you haven't checked that out yet. But I got so many comments from people asking me about suggestions on after parties, where to eat, what to do like in the downtime when you're not at the festival. And I was like, okay, I have enough information here to make a fully dedicated video to it. So that's what it is. Today I'm basically gonna be acting as your travel guide. Whether you have like a week booked to be in the area or you're just coming from the festival, I'm sort of gonna be giving different options for things to do either before or after the festival, or like when you have a full day off and you just wanna go explore the area and really like discover things in New York City or in Brooklyn. For those of you guys who don't know, I live in New Jersey. I'm born and raised in New Jersey. My mom is from Greenpoint in Brooklyn. My grandparents used to live there. My dad is from Queens. So I've been around this area my entire life. I work in Manhattan full time. So a lot of these things are some of my favorite places and some of my favorite things to do in the area. With that being said, the description box down below is going to be full. Everything will be listed there. So all like the restaurants and bars I name, check below so you guys can sort of like build your itinerary for the weekend. But with that being said, Electric Zoo typically starts around like 4-ish, I want to say, on Friday, and then usually around 1 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. So you do have plenty of time to do stuff before the festival, and there are after parties after the festival that I'm going to be touching on. Really quickly, I'll just share my group. When I went, the last time was in 2017, we went and did like a bottomless brunch before the festival in the Lower East Side in Manhattan. So we got some drinks in, pre-gamed a little bit, and then we went to the festival. So it's totally doable. You can definitely still like get to see the area when you're not at the festival. Now that my long intro is done, let's just start getting into some things that I suggest you guys doing. So a lot of this stuff involves drinking and eating, but there's some other things you can do as well. Oh, and I'll just ask this now. Anybody else who's like local to the area, feel free to leave a comment down below with your suggestions on what people should do. But the number one thing a lot of people are asking about are after parties. Yes, there are definitely after parties for Electric Zoo. They have not been announced yet, but they are coming. They're always really, really good ones. Just so you guys are aware, there are a lot of after parties that happen in Brooklyn because that's where most of the venues are in our area for like house and techno and all kinds of different music. Some of the most popular venues are Shemansky, Avant-Gardner, the Brooklyn Mirage, the House of Yes, and Elsewhere. Like those are really big ones. You also get nightclubs in Manhattan like Lavo and Marquee. Just look out for all of those places there. I'm sure one or some of those are going to have after parties. Elsewhere is really cool. I haven't been there yet, but it's really high on my list. It's also a rooftop in Brooklyn, so that's dope. And then House of Yes is like such a cool, like interesting vibe. It's a really, really fun club and it's just like a whole spectacle in itself. So I recommend House of Yes as well. Definitely stay tuned because the festival doesn't go that late. I think it might end at 11 or it might end at midnight, so you definitely have time to like go out afterwards. The next thing I'm going to mention is a pizza spot. Go get artichoke pizza. It is so fucking good. Oh my god. And some people might argue with me on this, but basically it's kind of like spinach and artichoke dip pizza. It's fucking incredible. The slices are huge. There's a bunch of them. There's one in Astoria and there's one in Brooklyn. When Output was open, that used to be like a really popular underground sort of like techno venue, and they had amazing artists come there, and my friends and I would always go to artichoke pizza either before or after the night. Sadly, that club no longer exists. It closed down. But highly, highly recommend artichoke. Oh my god, it's incredible. You only need like one slice. It's very heavy, but it's so good. There's also some in New York City as well if you're staying. But with that being said, obviously get pizza. There's 1,000,001 pizza places. Go on TripAdvisor, go on Yelp, look up some of the highest reviewed ones and go get yourself some good pizza. I'm gonna talk a little bit about Brooklyn and Astoria first, and then I'll talk about Manhattan. But if you're in the Brooklyn area, whether you're in Greenpoint, Williamsburg, wherever it is, you could always go to the Brooklyn Brewery. That's a really cool thing. I think they do tours and they have a tasting room. So if you are really into beer, that's also in a really nice area. There's a lot of restaurants and stuff around there. So I suggest you could drop by there and go get a tasting. Some other really quick recommendations I have. Sweet Chick is an amazing brunch spot. Their fried chicken is to die for, but they always have really long lines, so just be warned. But yes, Sweet Chick is great for brunch. Berry Park Pub, the Radagast, I think that's how you say it, Radagast Beer Hall. And then there's this place called the Good Batch, which does ice cream sandwiches. That's really good. But yeah, there are a couple like beer garden, beer hall type things in Williamsburg area. So those are all a really good time. And yeah, just in general, like the Greenpoint, Williamsburg area is really nice. Like you can just walk around and like pop into different restaurants and things like that. So those are all really cute areas. In Astoria, I'm not as familiar with Astoria. The main thing I know about Astoria is they have an incredible amount of Greek food because there is a lot of Greek people that live there. Like I know my dad has friends that own a grocery store there, so they have really good bakeries, they have really good Greek restaurants. I think it's Steinway Street, it was one of like the main streets. They have a beer hall and garden there, and yeah, like if you're staying in that area, you'll still have plenty of things to do and pop in and out of. Also go check out Ample Hills Creamery. It's one of my favorite ice cream places. Oh my god, the ice cream is so good. They also have that in the, I think the West Village also has Ample Hills Creamery. Okay, so a couple more options. If you guys really wanted to and you have a car and you feel like taking a trip, you can go to Coney Island. They have like different amusement park rides, carnival games, like all different types of food and stuff, and there's a beach. So, I mean, it gets a little crowded, and especially Labor Day weekend, it might be a little insane. But if you do want to take the trip, there is Coney Island, which you could go check out. Also, Smorgasbord. So, Smorgasbord is this like food festival, tons of food trucks that happens in 3 different locations, but on Sundays it happens in Prospect Park. And I believe it's from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you could go do that before the festival. Just like confirm that it's happening Labor Day weekend. It should be, but yeah, that's where you'll see like all the people like Instagramming all these like crazy food combinations and things like that. Like they have incredible food vendors there, and you basically just go and eat until you're in a coma because it's just so much food, but you just want to try everything. So definitely check out Smorgasbord. Okay, so the next thing, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I personally would recommend doing a boozy brunch or a bottomless brunch. I kind of feel like people in our area forget that not every city has this, and it's like a huge thing in Manhattan. But yeah, if you've never done it, basically what it is a lot of these brunch places have like a fixed menu where you can pay like, I don't know, $35 to $45 a person, and you'll get an entree and unlimited mimosas or Bloody Marys. It depends on like the restaurant, but yeah, you pay like one price and it's unlimited for usually like an hour and a half to 2 hours. They do like limit your table so you can't be camped there the whole day. Highly, highly recommend if you want to go get like incredible food and just like pregame the festival. Like I said, my group did Essex. So I will recommend the Lower East Side of Manhattan if you are staying in New York City. Lower East Side has so many good bars and restaurants. There's tons of stuff to do, and it's just like a really nice area to walk around. The Cat's Deli is there, which is famous. My group did Essex. It's one of my favorite brunch places. I've had my birthday there 2 years in a row, and the food's great, and I did unlimited mimosas, and then we went to a rooftop. There's literally so many. Again, go on Yelp, but I'll list some of my favorite places down below. There's just so many incredible options, and yeah, go get a couple drinks, have fun. On the flip side, you could also go to the West Village or the Chelsea area, which is like on the west side of Manhattan, so that's way further from the festival. But again, if you have multiple days here, I would definitely check out this area. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's way more like of a neighborhood type feeling. And then along the water, you also have like some piers and bars like that. So I will mention Chelsea Market is a really cool place. You can walk around and it's like multiple food vendors and things like that. Same thing, Gansevoort Market is a food market. There's also the Stonewall Inn. I know Pride Month just happened, but that's an iconic landmark LGBTQ location. That whole area, like in Chelsea, there's a lot of like gay friendly bars, restaurants, drag shows, like all that kind of stuff. So if you like don't have that in your area and you are looking to go to like some gay friendly vibes, some gay bars and things like that, you have so many options in Chelsea and in the West Village. So go hit that up. I went to a drag Mexican restaurant once that was like a drag show in one. It was so much fun. So yeah, there's plenty of LGBTQ friendly places around there. There's House and Hall, which is a really fun place. Tacoma is a really good Mexican restaurant. The Brass Monkey is like a multiple level bar, and I think it has a roof. Standard Beer Garden is near the Standard Hotel. I'm gonna pop in pictures of all this stuff like while I'm talking so you guys can just get a picture, but these are just my personal recommendations. There's so many incredible places in New York, which is the best thing about it. And I quickly touched on it, but I would highly, highly suggest doing a rooftop bar, especially if you've never been to Manhattan before. Like the views are gonna be incredible. And again, it's Labor Day weekend, so just be careful with lines. New York City's tricky because a lot of people go out to like the Hamptons and Long Island for the weekend to like go to the beach, but at the same time everyone's off, so you might get like more lines, especially on rooftop bars. If it's a nice day, get there early because you could wait a long time online. But here are my recommendations for rooftop bars. Pod 39 is a smaller rooftop, but that one's a really good one, and that's Midtown East. It's at the top of the hotel, but downstairs connect to it is Salvation Taco, which is a really good Mexican restaurant. There's also Mr. Purple. It's a very famous rooftop. I've been there multiple times. That's what my group did. We went to Essex for bottomless brunch, and then we walked over to Mr. Purple and we went up to the rooftop and like had a couple drinks because we had friends visiting from Salt Lake City, and we were like, we gotta show you a New York City skyline view. 235th is a much bigger rooftop. That's got a great view of the Empire State Building. There's the Monarch rooftop, the Refinery rooftop, the Standard rooftop, and Magic Hour, which is more near Penn Station. I recommend all of those. Again, like I'm pretty sure there are some places in Brooklyn too, like Elsewhere is a venue that has a rooftop. So just Google rooftop Brooklyn, rooftop Manhattan, and check reviews, but highly, highly recommend doing that. Okay, a couple other just like more iconic things that you can just do that don't necessarily involve eating. You can go walk around or bike around Central Park, especially if it's nice out. You could have a picnic if you want. I mean, if you want to work out and you're a runner, you could go run around Central Park. Just do it like, you know, during the day if it's nice out. Highly recommend. I mean, it's huge. It's absolutely beautiful in there. Obviously go check out Times Square. I know a lot of people commented this already. Some people were saying that like after the festival, if they're still like feeling a little hype, they go walk around Times Square, and they said like all the lights and everything are incredible. I mean, Times Square to me is like, I try and avoid it at all costs because it's just fucking complete chaos, but if you've never seen it, you have to go. Like, it's incredible. We're spoiled because we see it all the time. Grand Central Station is another great landmark to go check out. That's more on the east side, so that's good, like especially if you're taking the 456 subway up to Harlem to go to the festival. That subway runs through Grand Central, so you can go check it out. It's a famous train station. They also downstairs have a huge food hall, and there's like tons of food options down there, so that's a really good one. They also have a marketplace. Another super famous attraction is going up to the observatory at One World Trade and doing the 9/11 museum. I've never done either. I've seen the 9/11 memorial, but like personally for me, just like in the area, it's like hits a little close to home. So I've been in the area, but I have never been in the museum. It's supposed to be absolutely incredible though. And I'm also not a fan of heights, but if you are, the One World Observatory is supposed to be incredible. So definitely go check that out. And the last couple of things here, guys, you could also do a food tour. So again, if you have a lot of time and you're just looking to like fill up a day, highly recommend doing a food tour, and you can pick one in Brooklyn. You can pick any neighborhood in New York City has one, so like the Lower East Side. You could also do like Little Italy and Chinatown food tours. So go on TripAdvisor. TripAdvisor is my favorite thing ever. Check out their recommendations for food tours and definitely like do something like that, because that would be like a 2 or 3 hour walking tour, and you'll get to like taste a bunch of different things. You could also do a Broadway show. Again, if you're willing to spend more money and you have like an entire night to kill, you gotta go see a Broadway show. I've been going to Broadway shows since I was a kid. They're incredible. There are so many different ones that you can book. I highly recommend going to see a Broadway show. There's incredible shows out right now. What did I just see the last time I went to a show? My mom and I just went and saw Anastasia, but I've seen like The Lion King. There's Aladdin, there's Waitress, there's Hamilton if you can get tickets to that. Like, there's just so many incredible shows. So if you are willing to spend more money, go see one. And last two things. So if you really have time to kill, you could go to Chelsea Piers, which is on the west side of Manhattan. That is like multiple blocks, and it is a massive, I guess you would call it like entertainment space. They have everything you could possibly imagine: sports, volleyball courts, tennis courts, ice skating, rock climbing, like any type of sport or like entertainment, they have that there, and you can go like pay a price and then go like do sports for the entire fucking day long, and it's incredible. They have so many different things that they offer there. So Chelsea Piers is a good one. I think they have bowling, like all that fun stuff. And lastly, I just threw this on there because this is something I would do. I wrote down to get a tattoo. Obviously only do this if you like are thinking of getting one or you have multiple. There are so many iconic tattoo shops in Manhattan and in Brooklyn. So like if you really want to remember this trip, like go get a tattoo. Yeah, they're just like so many incredible artists, and I don't know, I just thought that would be a fun one because I like my artists are in Manhattan and I absolutely love them. I've gotten tattooed at Grit and Glory. That's who did the roses on my arm. Incredible artist at Grit and Glory, and it's next door to Mr. Purple, which is a rooftop. So you could go to the rooftop and then get a tattoo. Just obviously be careful, because obviously if you get a tattoo in the summertime, you got to be careful about sun exposure and being in a crowd with like a lot of people. You want to keep it sanitary, so maybe you do that after electric zoo rather than before. So you could always get a tattoo while you're in New York City. All right, so I think I've talked for long enough. I hope this gives you ample amounts of ideas of things to do. You can definitely easily get to things. The subway is the most affordable way to get around, and I know it seems like a little confusing, but you can definitely figure out how to navigate it. I promise it's not too bad. Otherwise, you can use Uber and Lyft. Again, you guys, leave comments down below with your suggestions of things that you like to do before and after electric zoo. Again, these are just some of my favorite things, so there's a million and one other things you could do. Yeah, I hope to see all of you guys there. I'm gonna be planning a meetup, maybe multiple meetups, so stay tuned for all of that. I'm also planning to make a flag. I'll keep you guys posted on what it looks like, but I've never had like a flag or a totem at a festival, and I think it's finally time, because this way you guys can find me easier in the crowd. When I get messages being like, oh, I was looking for you and I couldn't find you, because it's so hard when these festivals are packed. So now I'm gonna get a flag, I'm gonna be waving that shit in the air, and you guys will be able to find me. Stay tuned for more videos. I'm planning an outfit video, so to show you guys like what I'm wearing to the festival. More things to come, set times, like all that stuff as we get closer to the festival. But please give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Please share this with your friends. Really appreciate you guys spreading the word and sharing these videos. Like, that's how we make this channel grow together, and it's super incredible. Thank you all for your support and your kind messages. Cannot wait for Electric Zoo. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.